Sairam, let's start the study circle with 3 ohms. Om. 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 Dear Swami, we are so grateful to be able to meet here together in your presence today. While we are here together studying your word in your Bhagavata Vahini, we ask that you open our ears and hearts to whatever it is you want us to learn. Please speak through each one of us and help us progress in our spiritual journey. Jai Sai Ram. Sai Ram, everyone. Uh, I thought we'll start the study circle with meditation. But before then, just want to remind everyone to mute your cell phones if you have not already done so. And let's start with the meditation. Speak from our heart when the discussion begins. Listen with humility. That's what is important. And let us try to leave our egos outside of this conversations today. Sai Ram.
DSG presents your favorite classic fleece, the All-Star. It comforts you on your first.
Guided Mindfulness Meditation on Acceptance and Letting Go. Allow yourself this time to find a comforting balance and centeredness within yourself. Find a comfortable spot where you can bring focus to your attention for these few minutes. Begin breathing gently in and out. As you start to take notice of your pattern of breathing, just allow your arms and legs to release any tension. Just let gravity pull them gently downward. Feel that gentle breath in and out. Your chest moving up and down slowly and comfortably. And on the next slow breath, just let your limbs relax even further, releasing any of that remaining tension. During this time, you may become especially aware of your senses, the feeling of the surfaces you're touching against, the amount of light in the room, and you will hear detailed sounds that may have otherwise gone unnoticed. And all of these are fine. Just allow yourself to experience these sensations and accept them without judgment. Breathing gently in and out, sitting comfortably. Just take a moment to find the centered feeling of the present moment. And as you become increasingly aware and increasingly centered, you are now open to contemplate the topic of this meditation. Continuing to gently breathe, to raise your awareness, to feel the space around you. We will focus on this concept of accepting and letting go. Take a moment and imagine an incident long in the past that gives you regret. Something that pops into your mind fairly often. Maybe you said something wrong. Maybe you hurt somebody's feelings. Maybe you felt embarrassed by something you did. Whatever it was, think about the amount of time that you have spent thinking back on that time. When you look at it in this context, doesn't it seem like a waste of our energy? Doesn't it seem unnecessary? What does it accomplish for us to relive these moments in the past? The answer is often nothing. Of course, it is always good to be conscious of our mistakes and make situations right when we must. But what we also must learn is how to recognize the beneficial awareness while discarding the useless regret and anxiety that only serves to make us feel bad without resolving anything. As you remain focused on this goal, let us continue to deepen our understanding by maintaining our awareness on my voice and your breath and the space around you. Slowly, gently, in and out. We can learn to accept by living in the present moment. We can learn to let go by living in the now. You can also take this knowledge as it pertains to someone who may have done you wrong. In the same way as you think about how your mind reacts to your own mistakes, use this presence and centeredness to see a clear picture of those who you feel have wronged you. And this will help you to forge a clearer path of how to resolve the situation. And again, mitigate the thoughts that provide no solution and take your mental energy away from peace. And as we continue to focus, gently breathing, we will do a slow countdown, and I'll ask you to repeat these phrases after me, either out loud or in your mind, gently and easily, starting with 5. Awareness of my thoughts. 4. Awareness of the present moment. 3. Letting go of regret. 2. Forgiving others. 1. Acceptance. Continue to remain focused and deeply peaceful as we count down once more. 5. Awareness of my thoughts. 4. Awareness of the present moment. 3. Letting go of regret. 2. Forgiving others. 1. Acceptance. Being aware that the past is the past, and the future is only an idea of what is to come. We can take problems step by step, resolving them with a calm and focused approach. Focus on the present moment and learn acceptance and letting go.
Sai Ram. Okay, I'm just all right. I did not get a chance to write a review on our what we discussed last session. We actually were on chapter 38. We listened to the chapter and we discussed questions. I will of course fill it up before the final deck is sent out. So last week we were just talking about it. The story was about Kalia, the serpent, and Krishna's actions thereof. And I know it is online. If anyone has had a chance to listen to it and has something to add, please feel free to do so. We talked about Krishna and his actions of, and the concern Swami talks about in detail, the concern of the Gokula, the Gopas and the Gopis and his parents on how Krishna at such a young age went into that poisonous pool. So with that, after that, we did discuss a little quote or Swami's quote on the relationship with God that we discussed about with examples like Krishna, Sugriva, Sugriva, Vibhishana, and one more. I am forgetting. So Kuchela. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't hear it, so I kind of forgot that. But yeah, so Swami was talking about that and how that relationship is and how we should behave as well. So once we discussed that, today we'll move on to the next chapter. But does anyone have anything to add? Okay, let's move on. We are moving on to the 39th chapter. Today is our 90th session. We have 10 more sessions that we are, before we reach our 100. And our 100th session would be on October 1st, Saturday. And I think we will start adding it into our weekly announcements as well, just to remind everyone, because that is going to be the last one on the first Saturday of October. So that's when we plan to kind of conclude the Bhagavatha Vahini series of ours. And of course, with Swami's grace, we have been able to do up to 90. We are hoping that grace continues for the next 10 as well. So with that, let's listen to the next chapter.
Bhagavata Vahini, Chapter 39. The Omniscient as Student. Great Master, I do not get satiated however many stories I hear about the boyhood sport of Krishna. Really, this lovely boy Krishna is the divine, who had within him everything that exists. But nevertheless, he played about as if he was an ordinary human child. Oh, what good fortune is mine! When I think of it, I feel that it has accrued to me not as a result of the merit earned in this life. Ah, I am spending these last days of mine in listening to the exploits of him who as the hooded Sesha has his couch. The curse of that sage has helped to cleanse me of the sin through this means. I offer once again 1,000 prostrations to the sage's ire for affording me this beneficent opportunity. As the final moment draws nearer and nearer, my yearning centers in the joyful quaffing of the sweet narrative of Krishna's sport. It intoxicates me. It makes me insane. Give me, who is burning with that desire, the cool comforting drink throughout the few hours that are left of the allotted span of my life. Parikshit, the king, fell at the feet of Sukha, overwhelmed by the burden of devotion in his heart, and prayed for more stories of the boy Krishna. The spring of compassion in the sage welled forth at this prayer. he asked, "O king, which among the countless delightful divine incidents do you desire to hear from me? Their number is so large that even if they are told continuously for millennia, many will remain untold. No one, however proficient, can compress the narration into a few hours." At this, Parikshit replied, "Master, I have heard that our dearly beloved Krishna learnt many skills and subjects with Balarama as his companion from a very fortunate preceptor, Sandipini. Does this mean there was the need for an unlearned person to instruct him who is the master of all branches of knowledge, the master and sovereign of all? It must have been his play. Only that great play director Gopala knows who has to be blessed and saved, by which means and when. He should have enacted this play in order to liberate Sandipini from the shackles of birth and death through the merit of association with the Lord. Let me hear the incidents of the play centering round Sandipini. I will be saved by listening to it." Seth Sukha said, "O king, what you said is the indisputable truth. Yes, all is his play. For the drama which Krishna directs, the universe is the stage. There are countless screens, curtains, stage appurtenances, shelves and compartments for enacting his various plots devised to save and to liberate. Since the propitious destiny of Sandipini had ripened, he gave him that great chance and blessed him in that manner. Listen, I shall relate to you that divine drama. Balarama and Krishna, the divine brothers, grew like the sun towards the zenith and shone with increasing splendor. The parents, Nanda and Yashoda, were concerned about their future, since they were befogged by natural delusion. They decided that the children must be taught the arts and sciences, the skills and attainments appropriate to their status and condition. The family priest Garga was called in, and in consultation with him, an auspicious day and hour were fixed for the necessary rites. They celebrated with great pomp and ceremonial the rite of initiation into Brahmic wisdom, called Upanayana, or the rite of leading the pupil to the preceptor. That day, numerous acts of charity were done, and many valuable things given away according to Shastric injunctions. The people of Gokula were rendered happy by folk entertainments that were provided for them. Then the parents invited many pandits and conferred with them and Garga to discover the preceptor who was most proficient and desirable for the education of the children. The family priest Garga thought for a while and declared that it was best to send the children to the great Sandipini, a pandit from Avanti, living in the Kashi, the holy city of the sacred Ganga. Sandipini, he said, was a saintly person. The parents could not send their loved ones to such a distant place, but they were aware of the truth. Learning without a preceptor is only a blind learning. So they agreed and themselves journeyed to Kashi with Balarama and Krishna. Reaching the holy place, they entrusted the brothers to Sandipini and made arrangements for their stay with the famous preceptor. They returned soon after with a heavy heart to Gokula. From that day, Balarama and Krishna studied under Sandipini, offering him the tribute of fear and reverence. O king, thousands, tens of thousands, millions of children there are who study under teachers, but students who behave in a manner that gives satisfaction and joy to the teacher are very rare, not even 1 in 100. Satisfying the teacher, studying well what has been taught, avoiding the pursuit of sensory pleasure, and attaching oneself only to the pursuit of knowledge, ever in the consciousness that study is the task and study is the duty. That is how a student should be. That is what Balarama and Krishna were. They did not overstep his will or direction in any instance. Though they were the repositories of supreme authority over the earth and heaven, they gave their preceptor the respect and obedience that was due to his eminence and position. They were full of earnestness and devotion. They did not allow anything to distract from their lesson. Observing their discipline and their enthusiasm to learn, Sandipini felt great joy surging up in his heart. When he saw them, he got irrepressible yearning to train them in many more branches of learning. He made them masters of the 4 Vedas, the Vedantas, the science of logic, grammar, jurisprudence and economics. He taught them all that he knew. King, what can I say? How can I describe them? The world may have known all geniuses who can master one subject in 5 years or in 1 year or in a single month. But listen, Balarama and Krishna were with Sandipini for only 64 days, and in that short time they mastered the 64 arts and sciences. That was how they enacted this drama of study. It was just a sport for them. How can we explain this amazing make-believe, this divine histrionic Leela? Can ordinary mortals learn so quick? Can they master so much in so few days? While exulting over the humility and loyalty of the brothers, while accepting their salutations and homage so genuinely offered, and while engaged in delightful conversation with them, Sandipini used to shed tears, in spite of his persistent efforts to curb the grief that was surging within him. Balarama and Krishna observed this and long hesitated to question him about the reason. At last one day, Krishna stood before the preceptor with folded hands and addressed him. O greatest of teachers, while we are conversing with you, we find your eyes are occasionally filled with tears whenever you contemplate some incident. If you consider it appropriate that we can be told the reason for this grief, please tell us. When he heard this prayer, the sorrow in his heart gushed forth. Overcome by unbearable grief, he clasped Krishna with both his hands and wept aloud in uncontrollable anguish. Krishna knew the whole story. He pretended not to. He said, Guruji, tell us the reason for this agony. We will try our best with all our strength and skill to elevate it. No mission can be so holy and so important for us as this, to restore joy in the heart of the Guru. Inform us without entertaining any doubt. Do not consider us as boys and hesitate. When Krishna remonstrated with him thus, Sandipini was much relieved. He recovered himself and drew the brothers near, making them sit close to him on his right and left. He said, Dear ones, it is indeed my good fortune that I secured you. I already derive from your very words the joy of realizing my desire. My conscience is telling me that you are no ordinary children. I feel that it may be possible for you to fulfill this mission. That faith is prompting me. But sometimes I am shaken by doubt. I really do not know what is in store for me. Saying this, he stopped and the tears flowed again. At this, Balarama fell at his feet again, saying, Guruji, why do you doubt us and refrain from trusting us? We are your own sons. To give you Ananda, we are prepared to sacrifice our very lives. The earnestness of the boys and the firmness of their resolution caused a sense of shame in the preceptor that he kept back from them the reason for his sorrow. Children, I got a son after many years of married life. I brought him up lovingly and with as much care as I guarded my own life. One day, he went to the Prabhasa Kshetra on the sea, and while taking the holy dip in the waves, he was drowned. I was deriving great consolation and even joy looking at you two and watching your humility and sense of discipline. I almost forgot the loss. You have learnt all that has to be learnt very quickly. Now, even you cannot stay with me any longer. Whom am I to watch and love after your departure? The preceptor burst into inconsolable sobs. Krishna stood before him, strong and straight. He said, "O best of masters, we have to offer you gratitude for teaching us in an incomparable manner all the rare arts and sciences. That is our dharma, isn't it? We will proceed immediately and fight against the sea that swallowed your precious son and recover him. We shall bring him back to you and give you joy. Let us dedicate this act as our Guru Dakshina, ceremonial presents made to the preceptor by the pupil. Bless us so that we can start on this expedition. Bless us and give us leave to start." They fell at his feet, rose and stood expectant. Sandipini was confident that the boys were not of ordinary mold. He had faith that they would succeed.
He embraced them, stroked their hair and blessed them.
The king Parikshit said, "Master, oh, how fortunate are my grandparents that they could witness these." Krishna was the divine, which was acting the role of a human being, though he had immanent in him all that there is, was, and will be. Setsuka continued, "O king, receiving the acceptance and blessing of the preceptor, Balarama and Krishna hastened to the sea and standing majestically on the shore, commanded in a compelling voice, 'Ocean, give back the son of our Guru. Do this immediately or suffer the punishment we intend to give you.' The ocean shook in fear as soon as he heard these words. He touched the feet of Balarama and Krishna and said, 'Pardon, it is no fault of mine. When the boy was bathing, destiny drew him into a vortex and brought him into the depths. Meantime, the ogre, Panchajana, who has been living in the caverns there, swallowed him and had him in his stomach. This is the truth of what has happened. I leave the rest to you.' When the sea spoke thus, Krishna nodded. 'Right, I have heard your account,' and plunged into the depths of the sea to the cavern of that ogre. He attacked him in mortal combat. The ogre handed over the boy to the god of death before he himself died. So, Krishna could not recover him when he tore open the stomach. While searching his intestines in great anger to discover whether the boy was anywhere there, a huge conch came into his hands. Securing this, Krishna emerged from the sea and went straight to the city of death. Standing at the entrance, Krishna blew the Panchajanya conch that he had got from Panchajana. The sound it produced was as a thunderbolt to the ear. Yama, the god of death, rushed to the gate in terror. He saw Balarama and Krishna and queried politely the reason why they had come so far. The brothers commanded him to bring the son of the Guru and place him in their custody. "As you order," replied Yama, with folded hands. He directed his minions, and within seconds, the consecrated son of the preceptor was placed in the divine hands. They brought him immediately to the hermitage and placing him by the side of Sandipini, stood on one side. "This is our Guru Dakshina. Please accept this act as such," appealed Krishna. The joy of the parents was beyond words. They were overcome with a sudden gush of happiness. No one who contemplates such divine achievements, the bringing back into the life the son of the Guru who was in the arms of death and similar miracles, can entertain the belief that they are mortal and not divine. What then are we to speak of Sandipini? He realized that they are the twins Nara Narayana. He was overwhelmed with exhilaration when he reminded himself that he had the fortune to have such divine beings as his pupils, and that he could call himself their Guru. He prostrated mentally before them. With tears streaming down his cheeks, he embraced them and arranged for their leave-taking from the ashram. Balarama and Krishna rode on their chariot after taking leave of the Guru and his wife and reached the city of Mathura. The inhabitants of that city, on hearing how the brothers demonstrated their gratitude to their Guru, extolled them for their divine compassion and capabilities. They felt immensely happy that they had come back among them. O King, reflect for a while how inspiring was the example of Gopala while he was undergoing his education, and how much his conduct and earnestness contributed to the joy of the elders. Every act of Krishna, however tiny and unimportant on the surface, had a deep significance and meaning. Fools cannot discover it, so they treat these acts as insignificant. Is there in this world anyone who can affirm that he can teach the art of swimming to the fish? Similarly, who can teach and become the preceptor of God? Though all learning emanates from him and is to be earned through his grace, he plays the role of a pupil as a representative of the ideal pupil, in order to show the world by his own example the way in which a guru is to be chosen and served, the quality of humility that education must instill, and the gratitude and respect that the pupil has to offer to the teacher. It is with the intention of guiding and prompting the students of today that Krishna himself went through the educational process and lived the ideal. Notice how subtle is the mystery of God and his Leelas. When Sukha was repeating these words, tears of joy flowed down his cheeks in streams.
Okay, Sairam. This is chapter 39, and this is a continuation of Bhagavata Vahini on Krishna. And this chapter obviously focuses on omniscience, the omniscient as a student. So I know we've heard multiple things as well when we discussed as a student, different phases of life and how and what is the right action to be done or the dharma at that level. Now, I actually thought that we have discussed a lot of these things. So I used a little bit of AI to actually help me guide as what a takeaway would be for each of these that we would like to talk about. So if God is a student, and he's so humble, why would the all-knowing Krishna become a student in the first place? Of course, Swami says it, but I just wanted us to kind of dwell on it. And how does humility bring peace? I thought we can discuss that. Of course, this is takeaways from Swami's quote on humility silences ego and brings inner calm. And I went topic by topic only because I thought it's really well laid out for me. At least that's how AI has helped me this time. I was running out of things to actually discuss because we discussed a lot of topics, and I think we are repeating ourselves in a lot of ways. And I think having AI has actually helped me in this aspect here. So we can start with any of the topics: God as a student, Guru Shishya relationship, respect for knowledge and learning, gratitude to the Guru that Krishna and Balarama so correctly extolled, and then compassion as the essence of divinity, the role of divine play, conquest over death, which again, we have talked about how a lot about these, actions of the divine. And then, of course, education with character, which is obviously always my favorite topic. And why must learning be grounded in values? And I think that is so pertinent today, especially when we have SSE that we actually always try to focus on and kind of bring out the importance there. So education, Swami says, education without character is dangerous. Dharma must guide the learning. And sorry, I don't know what happened here. So, and then hidden significance in divine actions. So these are just some things that some I thought of, and eventually AI gave me a nice layout to put it all together. But I'm just opening this up to everyone to discuss or pick a topic. We can take a minute or two.
Sai Ram. I think I'll just start with the gratitude to the
Please
Guru.
go ahead.
We did discuss this in the past. If we take this example of Krishna and Balarama, they were so keen to satisfy or at least to alleviate the sadness of the Guru. So they wanted to know what was bothering Guru, and then took it upon themselves to remove that sorrow. So if we relate to ourselves, Swami as our Guru, so if we just put a question as to what is bothering Swami, or what is his keen thing that he wants, his main thing throughout his life has been telling everybody that they are divine and put in your effort, all your sadhana towards that realization. So the only way we can remove whatever is bothering Swami is by undertaking that sadhana and then doing that. So very, very religiously, till just like how Krishna and Balarama, they were not bent on being astounded by the enormity of the situation, that somebody is already drowned. How can we? I mean, Krishna is divine. That's a different thing. But how can we do that? Or he goes and then he fights that Panchajana, and then also find that it's already gone to Yama. So he goes to the Kama. I mean, whether it is all possible or not, it's a different question. But if we just make that sincere attempt to do the sadhana that will satisfy, I think that is what our sadhana should be. That will be the Guru Dakshina that we have to offer.
Right.
That's what
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very well said. So that also brings us to, compassion. Krishna was compassionate, and of course he had, the will and everything else. Obviously, he is playing the rightful role for us to follow. But I felt this chapter has a lot of such things describing Krishna. But again, a lot of those topics I felt we have discussed in the past. If there is anything anyone would like to add, just taking this as a guideline, please feel free. Yeah, please go ahead.
I can just go ahead with this conquest over death.
Yeah.
So, if, for example, I mean, I don't know about the human value peace being there.
Yeah.
So, Krishna's conquest over Yama is equivalent, or if we just relate it to our situation, praying to Swami Swami, or when I say Swami, it's divinity. I mean, praying to the divinity, that prayer has so much power. So Swami has said that many times. So our intense prayer definitely brings back, or it's equivalent to when somebody is saved from the jaws of death. It is equivalent to talking to Yama and bringing it. That's how I can see. I mean, you may not be physically able to see a Yama there, but when somebody comes up from that jaws of death alive, then that is really the fight or appealing to Yama.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we have heard of so many instances. I was just listening to a Samarpan talk of a person. I think he is the CEO of Amritanjan, or this one.
Yeah.
And then he was afflicted with cancer, and then Swami doesn't even let this one mention cancer.
Right.
He was having, no, I don't want to listen anything. He will be all right. So, and then that next day they were completely. So we have heard of so many such instances.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So all those things are equivalent to fighting Yama and bringing back the life. That's how I can relate it.
That's the reason that I actually picked a little video, and I think we can finish it in the time. So I think we can listen.
Our chief guest, the governor of Machakos County, Honorable Vahini, Chairman Sri Satya Sai International Organization, Dr. Reddy, Chairman Sri Satya Sai World Foundation, Leonardo Guta, Zone 9 Chair. Thank you. Mr. P.V. Sambasiva Rao, honored guests, respected devotees, esteemed members of the Sri Satya Sai International Organization, Sairam. My name is Austin Odur. I am an alumnus of Satya Sai School Kisaju. First and foremost, before I read to you my speech, or what I consider as a speech, I want to be honest and frank with all of you. Today I woke up very early in the morning and stood by the bathroom window, as is usual for most of us when presenting speeches. A question popped up in my mind. Austin, you've been having experiences with Swami for the past 15 years. What's the best gift that you can give him? I pondered over this question for a very long while. I could not get the answer to it. But thanks to God, I'm so grateful to Swami. A speaker came here and just told me the best gift that you can give Swami right now is to be happy. Always be happy. So, of course, ladies and gentlemen, words cannot fully describe the experiences that I've had with Swami for the past 15 years since I joined Sri Satya Sai Kisaju. It's been immense, rich experience. So, just to touch on specific details, I'll continue speaking on and on if I'm given the opportunity to speak about my life transforming experiences with Swami. But just to give you an overview of what my experiences have been, I thought it wise to just present it in form of a speech so that I may give you the important details. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today, not to just present a speech, but to share with you my life transforming experiences as a Sai student. I am deeply overwhelmed with nostalgia when I try to recall my formative years at Satya Sai School. I joined Satya Sai School Kisaju approximately 15 years ago. I am so happy to see some of my teachers seated here. One of my teachers is Mr. Cheriot. He's seated right here when I was in class 2. I'm so much grateful, you sir, for making me into the man I am right now. I joined Satya Sai School Kisaju as a young boy who barely spoke fluent English or Kiswahili. I came from a humble background, which had limited opportunities and poor prospects for the future. But ladies and gentlemen, I just want to tell you the truth. Satya Sai School Kisaju became a beacon of hope in the face of uncertain times. Thanks to the sponsorship provided by the Sri Satya Sai organization, I received not just an education, but a holistic growth experience. The school instilled in us value-based education, with special emphasis on this quote that still resonates with me until today. Help ever, love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. In a world full of animosity and cruelty, we were taught the importance of lighting candles of love and tasked with the responsibility of being agents of change in all facets of our lives. The school taught us the importance of giving back to the society through various initiatives like Grammar Saver. So, of course, ladies and gentlemen, what you are going to have on the final day, which is part of this conference of giving back to the society, has not begun today. That value was instilled in us when we were still young children at Satyasai School Kisaju. I received at this foundation that I received at Satyasai School Kisaju inspired me to engage in multiple volunteer community service activities, both in high school and university. And I just want to give you something about 4 months ago or something, about 4 months ago, Mr. Aravind called me. I was really surprised to receive a call from him. And then he asked me about the various community service activities that he participated in. I'm not sure if you can really remember that, but it really inspired me. The way he was talking passionately about giving back to the society, that prompted me to just shift the gear that I was having at that particular moment to another level. And through that, I've increased the intensity of giving back to the society through the words that Brother Aravind inspired me with. I aspire to specialize in surgery once I complete my undergraduate studies. I think I did not inform you. I am a student at Maseno University, currently pursuing medicine and surgery. And so, in the spirit of strong to serve, in the spirit of loving all and serving all, helping ever and hurting never, and also this quote from Swami that says that hands that serve are holier than lips that pray. Thank you so much. We are in a particular time of the world where medicine has been encroached with people with intentions of just achieving monetary wants. So we have to instill change in this. So I aspire to specialize in surgery once I complete my undergraduate studies. This ambition is deeply rooted in the desire to give back to the society and serve humanity. I owe a significant part of my journey to the unwavering support of several individuals. First, I want to express my deepest gratitude to Swami for his boundless love and for the incredible opportunity to study at Satyasai School. The SSIO has been a pillar of support throughout my educational journey. I would like to also extend my heartfelt thanks to Mr. PVS Rao, sir, who has been like a father to me. His selfless and unwavering support throughout high school and university has been very invaluable. Without his guidance and assistance, reaching this point, I would have been immensely challenging. As I stand here today, I am filled with a sense of gratitude and strong resolve to give back to the society in any way I can. The theme of this conference resonates deeply with me. Service is at the heart of what I strive to achieve throughout my education and future profession. I aim to serve those in need, bringing healing and hope. So in conclusion, I want to express my profound thanks to SSIO and all the devotees seated here today. Your unwavering support, dedication to service and education has made a significant difference in my life and many others. Together, let us continue to serve, adore, and illuminate the path of future generations. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Okay, Sairam, I just wanted to bring this out because this person is a Sai student from Kenya. And there is an entire video of his struggle because he could not speak as a child. He was taught to speak and put in the school. Of course, the whole area was very violent. at the time. And the amount of Grama Seva that they did during that time has instilled so many children into this program today, that they are not only studying, they are also giving back to their own country, and so on and so forth. So there is an entire video, but I thought because we have our SSE open at this time, I thought this was very pertinent to our center at this time. So if anyone has anything to add, we just have about 5 minutes.
And many others.
Yeah, I will share. I will share it in the SSC group as well as on our channel, WhatsApp channel.
Sairam, I think it's more, this is more from us as a Sai Center.
Right.
I think we need to introduce or include a lot more service opportunities so that the children can participate. I think that is what I am getting right, the message through this student in Kenya. I think giving back to the society is can be done in many levels.
Absolutely.
The children can do in their own way, and that will definitely bring in a lot more happiness to the community, or soothing to the community. But at the same time, it'll involve a lot more lessons for the children themselves who are participating.
Yeah.
I think we should probably do it. I mean,
Well,
I'm just saying that as a center, I think we have to think about always introducing more service opportunities.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, Sairab, if there is nothing to add, we can end today. Okay, sounds good. We will continue our discussion on Thursday. Again, we will go with the next chapter, because there is there is 3 more chapters to complete. So I think we can listen to all chapters and go back to the discussion in the last 5 or 6 sessions, because we can talk about awareness and of course, IMI. So that's where we will end our discussion with. Just life application. We do have a breath-based reflection. We will be continuing our meditation sessions with various videos, and I can share the videos. I know some of you have asked me, and I will do that this week. I'm sorry, I had a busy week and I kind of was distracted. So again, breath-based reflection. You don't have to remember these words. I walk the path of dharma. As you inhale, and as you exhale, I surrender all outcomes. So with that, let's end our session with Om and 3 Shantis. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sairam, thank you all for being here today.
Sairam.